Good morning, children. Today we are going to study about the new topic that is called as a electromotive force. Okay. When we want a steady flow of a electric current in the conductor and we have to maintain it throughout the circuit, then this any cell or a battery is always responsible, or any cell or a battery is always required. Okay, suppose in the same circuit we are going to understand that this is a source or a battery, whatever we have connected, and this is a battery positive terminal, this is a battery negative terminal. Okay, that means A is maintained at the high potential, B is maintained at the lower potential. Okay, now what happens according to conventional flow of the charge, that is a positive charge, the positive charge will move from plus to minus, that is from A to B terminal. Okay, and that's what we can say, that the current flows through the circuit in this diagram from A to B. That is, the positive charge flows spontaneously from A to B in the direction of the electric field, because the direction of electric field is also from positive to negative. Okay, now to maintain the steady current through the conductor, some external device must do work at the steady rate to take the positive charge from the lower potential to the higher potential. Now what it means, that if the circuit has to continuously work, then the circuit must be closed and completed, isn't it? Now in this way what happens, suppose the positive charge has started from this place and it has moved throughout the circuit and reached through the complete resistance R and reached to point B. Okay, but to again we want the continuous flow of the current, that means that positive charge has to move from this B to A through the particular source or through the particular EMF source, and that's what the positive charge is now moving from B to A inside the cell, B to A inside the cell, and this particular device is called as a source of electromotive force, or we can say that it is a electrochemical cell or electric generator. Okay, that means a source of EMF transfers positive charge from lower potential, that is B, to the higher potential A in the opposite direction of the electric field. That means the charge flow of the circuit is considered to be a continuous or a steady state flow of the current, or a steady flow of the current. That's what we want to again understand, what is meant by the EMF very properly and detail. Okay, now battery or is a device which maintains the potential difference between the two terminals A and B. Now let us consider that this is a battery. Okay, now I am saying that this particular device is a cell or a battery. Okay, now this cell or a battery is shown in this dotted column. Okay, now this is terminal A. According to this, we have maintained this particular circuit diagram as a bigger one. So this is A, and this is at the positive potential. So I'll write down here positive potential, and I can say that this is the negative potential. Okay, so this is kept at the negative potential, and what is name given here? B. So B is at the negative potential. Okay, now what happens actually? Let us understand in a detailed way. Now in this diagram of a battery, or we can say that it is a cell, as it is an electrochemical cell, due to a certain chemical reaction, the force is exerted on the charges of the electrolyte. That means what happens? The force drives the positive charges towards the terminal A. That means the positive charges are moved towards the terminal A. So this particular electrode acquires a positive charge. Okay, and the negative charge is settled towards B. Negative charge is settled towards B. Now what happened? This force on the positive charge, because positive charge is forced to move through the electrolyte to the plate A, and this force is called as a Fn. We are saying that this is the force Fn. So this force Fn, and we are saying that Fn because it is called as the force due to non-electrostatic origin. That means this force is a non-electrostatic origin, that is the force is due to the chemical reaction, and chemical reaction is a non-electrolytic source or non-electrolytic origin. That's what I have mentioned here, Fn. So this is a force due to that chemical reaction moves the charge, positive charge, towards the plate A. Okay, as the charges are piled up, I mean slowly the charges are built up on the plate A, isn't it? And the negative charges are placed on the plate B. So now as the charges are piled up, you can see that the potential difference is acting between them, or the potential difference is set up between them, and the electric field is set up inside this cell. Okay, now this electric field is obviously inside the electrolyte from A to B, because we have said that the electric field is always from positive to negative charge. So I can say that this is the electric field Fe from positive to negative charge, positive to negative electrode inside the electrolytic solution. Okay, now this field Fe exerts the force QE. So we know that Fe, that is electric force, Fe is equal to Q into electric field on the charge Q, and it is acting in the opposite direction of Fn. Okay, now what happened? This continuous flow of the positive charges through that particular electrolyte continues and settles on the A, and negative charges settles on the B, and that's what this process continues till Fn is equal to Fe. Okay, that's what we have the work done by this non-electrostatic force during the displacement of any another small positive charge from B to A is considered as a work done, and we know that W is equal to Fn into D. That means work has to be done in moving the charge from through the electrolyte through the distance D. What is the distance D? D is the distance between these two plates. Okay, so we can say that this work done per unit charge is nothing but the potential. We have studied that. So EMF E is equal to work done per unit charge. Now how much is the work done? We have here written Fn into D is the work done divided by Q. Okay, so I can write down here that W is equal to Fn into D, and E is equal to W by Q. So this factor E is equal to W by Q is called as the EMF of the battery, or we can say that it is the electromotive force or EMF of the battery or any other source. So again, what we can say in definition of the electromotive force of a source. So EMF of a source is nothing but work done by the source in moving a small unit positive charge from lower to higher potential, from, we can say that, lower to higher potential. And this flow of charge from lower to higher potential is where it is through the electrolyte. So I will add it here, through the electrolyte. And I can say that it is from here in this diagram, it is from B to A. Okay, now when we can say that two terminals of the battery are not connected. Okay, now battery is not connected and to that particular any external load resistance. That means batteries two terminals are free. Okay, then what will happen in a steady state? We have said that Fn is equal to Fe, and that is equal to QE. We have written here in this expression. Okay, so I can write down now here Fn into D is the work done, must be equal to Fe into D. This is again the work done. Okay, must be equal to this F into D. F is nothing but QE, isn't it? F is nothing but QE. So I can write down here QE into D. Okay, now we have studied that E into D is nothing but a voltage or a potential. So I can write down that this is equal to QV. Okay, because E into D, I'll write down here, E into D is nothing but potential difference between the two terminals. We call it as a V. Okay, so E is equal to, or EMF is equal to FND divided by Q. This formula we are using, and this FND is nothing but, FED is nothing but QV. So I can write down here QV by Q, and that is equal to V. But this is very important that this is the case when we are saying that the circuit is open. That means they are not connected externally. So battery is not connected externally. Okay, so that's what we can say, that the EMF of the source is equal to the maximum potential difference when its terminals are considered to be open circuit. That means when they are not sending, the cell is not sending the current in the circuit. So when the battery terminals are open, or when we can say that the circuit is open, then the EMF of the circuit or the source is equal to the maximum potential difference between the two terminals. Okay, so I will mention this statement also, because this is the definition of EMF. But EMF can be explained in terms of the voltage when the circuit is called as an open circuit. So I can write down here EMF of a source is equal to maximum potential difference between its terminal when it is in open circuit. Open circuit means it is not connected externally. Open circuit, or I can say that cell is not sending current. This state is called as an open circuit condition. Cell is not sending the current through the circuit. Okay, now this is the basic concept of the EMF. Now we are going to understand regarding how the work is done in bringing a charge, positive charge, from the low potential to high potential. Again we are considering with respect to a particular diagram. Okay, now in this diagram you can see that this is a cell or electrochemical cell, and connected through the external resistance R, and these are the electrodes. Okay, now we can say that here these two electrodes are considered to be P and N, and as soon as the electrolytic reaction starts, what happens? The current starts flowing through the external circuit and through the resistance in the way from P, C, D up to N. Okay, now what happens? As the circuit has to complete, the current has to flow. That means the conventionally positive charge is moving from P, C, R, D, N. Okay, this is called as external circuit. Okay, now but we want the continuous charge flow, that is continuous positive charge has to flow throughout this closed circuit. Okay, now to flow that particular current, the current has to, or that positive charge has to move inside the electrolyte from B to A, isn't it? Now that's what we have the concept here, that these two electrodes exchange the charges with the electrolyte. Therefore the positive electrode, we can say that it is P, okay, develops a positive potential. So I will write down this is a positive potential. Electrode P is at a positive potential with respect to the electrolyte point A. So A is the point in the electrolyte. Okay, then the negative electrode N develops the negative potential. So I can write down here it as a minus V minus, because it is due to the minus charges or the negative charges. And with respect to B, that means in the electrolyte. So B is the point in the electrolytic solution. With respect to B, the point N or the place N is at the negative potential, isn't it? So when no current flows through the cell, once again when there is no external resistance, no current flows through the cell, then what happens? Electrolyte is maintaining the same potential throughout the electrolyte, and that is nothing but the potential difference. We have said that when no current flows through the circuit, we have studied that when no current flows through the circuit, at that time we have calculated that E is equal to V. E is equal to V. That means EMF of the cell is nothing but the potential difference between the two terminals of the those electrodes, two terminals of the electrodes. And that's what we can say, that the potential difference between P and N is given as, now we want difference, so we want V plus, because this is at the high potential, as it is a difference, minus sign is there. And the negative electrode or N electrode, we have said that it is developing the potential minus V minus. Okay, so suppose we will write down together what is the potential difference. Then it is V plus, this minus of minus become plus. Okay, V plus and V minus. Okay, now V plus and plus V minus is nothing but the potential between the point P and potential between the point N. So V plus P and V minus at N. So this is the potential difference between the 2 points, and we have said that this potential difference between the two electrodes is nothing but the EMF of the cell. So I can say that it is the EMF of the cell, and therefore we can always say that V plus V minus is always greater than 0. Okay, now when the circuit is closed, we can say that the energy supplied by the source in moving a unit charge once around the complete circuit is called as the EMF. So that positive charge, we are saying that positive charge is taken from here to here. Okay, but that positive charge has to take completely through the circuit, once round the circuit, through the electrolyte from B to A also. Okay, and that's what that is called as a net work done, and W, that net work done, is called as a EMF. So EMF is equal to W upon Q, or I can say that it is a work done per unit charge. And this is the energy supplied. Now another definition of EMF is again there. Okay, so EMF of source is energy supplied by the source in taking a unit positive charge once round the complete circuit. And this is called as a EMF. Okay, now SI unit of EMF is obviously a volt. Okay, now you will find out that what is the difference between the EMF and potential difference. Now I am giving you here the directly the difference point between these two points. Now let us understand what are the differences between these. Okay, now first difference you can see here, that electromotive force and the potential difference. Electromotive force, it is the work done by the source in taking a unit charge, that is unit positive charge, once around the complete circuit. So I can say that electromotive force is nothing but the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge through a complete circuit. And at the same time, potential difference is the amount of work done in taking a unit charge from any point in the circuit to the another point. So it is not necessary to complete the circuit. So any point in between the 2 points of any circuit, we can calculate the potential difference. Second point, this is equal to the maximum potential difference between the 2 terminals of a source when it is open circuit. And this we have clearly said that when the circuit is open or the current is not flowing through the circuit, then the EMF is equal to the maximum potential difference between the 2 electrodes of the cell. And potential difference exists between any 2 points of the closed circuit. This is the second point. EMF exists even when the circuit is not closed. When the circuit is not closed, then also EMF exists. And you can see that the potential difference exists only when the circuit is closed. Means once the circuit is closed, then and then only the potential difference is created. Okay, now EMF has non-electrostatic origin. As I said, the chemical reaction is the origin for the electromotive force. But This potential difference originates from the electrostatic field which is set up by the charges which are accumulated on the two terminals of the source. That means when the non-electrostatic origin creates the electromotive force, then simultaneously the electrostatic field is set up by piling up the charges. This also we have studied. Okay, and that's what the potential difference is created. This is also again very important, that electromotive force is a cause. Okay, cause, and that is a reason behind the potential difference. That means when EMF is applied in the circuit, the potential difference is caused. Okay, and it is an effect. So as an effect, potential difference is created due to the EMF. Okay, now the next one point is, it is equal to the sum of the potential differences across all the components of the circuit, including the potential difference required to send current through the cell itself. Now what is this? In this case we can say that the EMF is equal to sum of the potential difference across all the components of the circuit, including the potential difference required to send current through the cell itself. So this proper point we are going to study in the next topic, and in a wider manner, okay, or in a proper manner. Here every circuit component has its own potential difference across its ends. Suppose it may be resistor. We have studied that across resistor certain potential difference is created. Across a capacitor also we have studied that a certain potential difference is created. So this potential difference can be across any component, okay, of the circuit. But this EMF is the overall sum of the potential differences across all the components. So it may be a capacitor connected in series, it may be a resistor connected in series, it may be another wire which is there, connecting wire. So across that also the potential difference is created, and that together is called as a EMF. Clearly it is larger than the potential difference across any circuit element. So EMF is always higher than that of the potential difference, and potential difference is always lesser than the EMF. Now this is independent of the external resistance, because if external resistance is not there, you can see that in this diagram also, if external resistance is not there, then also the this terminal potential difference is created, or we can say that the EMF is existing, isn't it? So this EMF exists although the external resistance is not there in the circuit, and potential difference is always less than the EMF. This is another point where we are explaining the difference between the EMF as well as the potential difference. So basically when you understand the EMF and the cell, how cell works, then we can go for the next topic, that is called as the internal resistance of the cell, and how the relation between the internal resistance, EMF and the potential difference is generated. Thank you.